Hello and welcome to my review of the Hormagaunts for Tyranids for Warhammer 40,000. One of these box sets will cost you £30 and consists of 68 plastic components and comes with 10 28.5mm round bases and one 40mm round base. You're pretty much getting 11 models in a way, because you're getting 10 Hormagaunts and one Ripper Swarm. Format of this review is as usual. I'll go through all of the models individually and we'll look at the detail. I'll talk about how easy they were to build. Then we'll look at the spare parts, of which there are only 4. So I think this means that this Tyranid kit has the least number of spare parts in all of the kind of separate individual kits that they've released for Tyranids this time round. Then we'll go through some size comparisons with larger Tyranid models and lots of other infantry size models. Then I'll go through all of the rules right at the end of the video. So first things first then, let's have a look at the miniatures. I did like this kit. It took me quicker to build than I thought they would, probably because there's no options. There's no options. There is posability if you were to cut the pegs off. They are peg and socket connectors for their arms, and it's mainly the 2 front arms that you change, and also the heads. You could try and swap the heads around with them all. One thing I do like about this kit is the poses. I think along with the Gene Stealers, they've got the best poses of any of the Tyranid box sets that you'll stumble across in your new release purchases. I really like them. Let's just have a look at a few of them. So each one is different, and I like that. Yes, it's a Horde army, and this set should have 20 in here, much like with the Termagants. Gene Stealers, not so much. You can get away with 10 Gene Stealers, they're a bit more elite. But certainly Hormagaunts and Termagants, they should include 20. That'd be great. £35 for 20 Hormagaunts. Even if they were just these sprues kind of duplicated, that would still be fine. But this is what we get. We're getting less options, less posability, but better poses and better detail for the price. But anyway, let's have a look at some of these. So each one's different, as I've mentioned. So you've got this one, which is on a bit of a scenic base. Sometimes they use their scenic bases, a little tactical rock here and there to elevate them. Literally, in this case, this Hormagaunt is leaping up. Looks fantastic. You never really got these poses with the old kit. Look at this one, leaping towards something. And then this one, I mean, the thing is, if you've got old Tyranid models, old Hormagaunts, these are going to work well. They're going to upshow them, of course. I mean, look at this one, changing direction. That's incredible, for one of the fastest units in the Tyranid force. As I say, they're going to work well with an older kit. Just sprinkle a couple of these in, units of 20, and that's, it's going to make a difference, I think. Would I be... The downside of having these all with these poses, I guess, is would I be tempted to buy another set? No. I mean, if they were in a set of, like a combat patrol or an army set, then yeah, it's nice to have another 10 of them, but they're all going to look exactly the same unless you heavily modify them all and things. Not quite sure what this head's doing. It sort of doesn't look a bit right, does it, that one? But yeah, really nice poses. They're all different. They carry that sense of speed and mobility and dexterity and flexibility with these, way more than the Gene Stealers and the Termagants do. So very impressed with this kit. Just from a poses point of view, not from a customizing or options point of view. Which is odd because it's kind of like as I say, a horde unit. You want to be fielding 20, 30, 40 of these. and it's an odd direction for Games Workshop to go in, to have like a horde unit predominantly in these unique individual poses. You know, there's more variety in these poses than a box of Space Marines. So there you go, but that's a lovely pose as well. Really impressed by the look of these. Spare parts then, as I've mentioned, 4 spare parts, and it's just heads. So no extra claws, no extra parasites or weapons, or, you know, nothing different other than just these 4 heads that I didn't use. And I think you can swap the heads out on all of them, really. One thing I didn't look at was the Ripper Swarm. It is I say multi-part Ripper Swarm. Each Ripper Swarm kind of creature, each Ripper is individual. They're not connected to each other, unlike the Ripper Swarm that's included in the Termagant set. You know, they have to be paired up, whereas these are all individual, which is great. Gives you a lot of customization in terms of, you know, building a scenic base and having them at different levels maybe, or building some kind of crater, I want to call it like an emergence hole, with a couple of these popping out, a bit like Tremors, if ever you've seen that film. But yeah, an upgrade in the Ripper Swarm compared to the Termagant set. So it's nice that you get one of these, and you know, because they're all individual, if you were to buy another set, at least there's more individuality in these than in the main unit, which, yeah, I'd rather it be the other way around, but still, it's worth making a point about those that Ripper Swarm. Okay, so size comparisons then. Just want to compare them to, first of all, other sort of infantry sized units. So the first comparison, of course, will just be with the Termagant. You know, these Termagants, these are, I say bigger, they are a little bit bigger. They're on exactly the same size bases, but they are a little bit bigger. They look very similar. Their legs, their feet, instead of the weapons, they have these claws. So that's the main difference with them. But they're very, very similar tails. It's just all the Termagants don't really have any kind of amazing poses, because they are the easy to build Termagants from the Leviathan box set. You know, so these are the multi-part ones. I say multi-part, they just come in kind of 2 parts really. And that's the one thing that you're getting with these Hormagaunts, is the poses. They're all varied, whereas the Termagants, you know, follow the standard form of a Horde army. Compared to a Genestealer right there. So of course the Genestealer is on these larger 32mm bases. And they are bigger. You know, they've still got the same number of limbs, but I arguably the limbs are more useful. They've got a shorter tail. Their head is obviously different, but that's where the Hormagaunt sort of measures up in between these two. Kind of like Genestealer is full on melee. The Termagant is, yeah, I guess more short ranged, and then the Hormagaunt sort of sits in between the two. It is melee, of course, but it is a fast unit. I can't wait to see all of these represented in the upcoming Space Marine 2 video game. So that's where Hormagaunt stands with the sort of infantry units. Let's throw around some HQ. So I've got a Tyranid Prime right here. That's where, you know, Tyranid Prime will be. I think it works well with these Hormagaunts. Got a Swarm Lord, why not? Much bigger, leading the force. Got a Screamer Killer right at the back, very big compared to those. And we might as well throw in a Lictor. There's not that many similarities between these, the Lictor and the Hormagaunts, but I just thought I'd give you a sort of size comparison. And then of course, very big miniature for Tyranids. We've got the Dimacheiron as well, much bigger, and of course the Norn Assimilator. Running out of places to put these, but let's put the Norn Assimilator there. Yeah, you can imagine like 20, 30, 40 of these Hormagaunts led by a Norn Assimilator, sort of Norn Emissary, sorry, in this case. Yeah, just gives you an idea of the size of the Emissary compared to the Hormagaunts. Compared to some Imperium miniatures, so I do have like a Terminator and a Ballistus Dreadnought right there. Terminator is I'd say bigger than these. There are a couple that are probably its head height just because they're leaping, but all in all, these are bigger, chunkier, and compared to the other 3 Imperial minis that I have as well, right here, we've got a standard Space Marine, we've got a Sly Marbo and a Primaris. So standard Space Marine is going to be taller than the majority of these Hormagaunts, but yeah, when sized up next to Primaris, yeah, this is what you're going to be fighting, I think, predominantly in the old Space Marine 2 game. So that's where these Hormagaunts stand up. They're, yeah, decently sized, I'd say, compared to the rest of the well, Imperium equivalent. Okay, this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Hormagaunts. You'll find them nestled between Gargoyles and Termagants for some reason, but Hormagaunts, they will cost you 70 points for 10 models, and they've even got a listing for 20 models, 140 points. Pretty cheap, you know, 7 points a model. It doesn't say anything about the Ripper Swarm at all, like whether it includes them or whatever, but you know, Ripper Swarms have their own profile, which I'll go through anyway. For one model, which has like 4 little Rippers on it, that's 15 points. 2 models is 30 and 3 models is 45. But let's talk about the Hormagaunts datasheet first of all. So they are movement of 10 inches, so very fast, toughness of 3, save of 5+, 1 wound, leadership 8+, and objective control 2. The unit composition is between 10 and 20 Hormagaunts, and every model is equipped with Hormagaunt Talons. Now these Hormagaunt Talons, they are a melee weapon. They have 3 attacks, weapon skill of 4+, strength 3, AP -1, and a damage of 1. Not too bad, you know, 3 attacks each with 10 of them, that's 30 attacks. Again, you know, the 50-50 chance of hitting anything, and you know, their strength isn't the best, but they are AP -1 at the end of the day, so that's quite good. Their abilities: Synapse, Bounding Leap. This unit is eligible to declare charge in a turn which it advanced. Now that's the killer ability right there. They can move, they can advance, and then they can charge. So that's what you're going to be doing with them. You're going to be running them, advancing them, and then charging them. They have the same toughness as a Termagant. They have the same save, same wound, same leadership, and same objective control. They just have that extra 4 inches and this bounding leap. So they are, you know, not the best, I say, in close combat in terms of like strength and AP, but 3 attacks each at 4+, it's not too bad. You know, you get 20 of them, you know, that's 60 attacks there. Not sure whether all 20 of them will make it to your enemy, but that's how I would run them in no smaller unit than 20, just to improve their survivability. Keywords: infantry, battle line, great devourer, endless multitude, Hormagaunts, and of course Tyranids. So how else would you deploy them? You'd deploy them against other weaker infantry units. I say weaker, you know, things that have like toughness 2, toughness 3. I guess you could throw them at Space Marines, but Space Marines have their normal saves. They have multiple wounds now. You know, the AP -1 will definitely help, but you're just wearing away your enemy with the weight of numbers with these Hormagaunts. Ripper Swarms then, I might as well talk about the Ripper Swarm datasheet. They are movement of 6 inches, toughness 2, save of 6+, 4 wounds, leadership 8+, and objective control 0. The unit composition is between 1 and 3 Ripper Swarms. Every model is equipped with chitinous claws and teeth. They are a different chitinous claws and teeth to that of the Termagants. They're sort of slightly worse, I think. But they also have a range weapon as well, which, yeah, is quite odd. But their range of 6 inches, attacks 4, ballistic skill 5+, strength 3, AP 0, damage 1. So, you know, that's 4 attacks there at short range. The melee weapons, these chitinous claws and teeth, their sustained hits 1, Melee weapon, of course, 6 attacks, weapon skill 5+, strength 2, AP 0 and damage 1. Again, not quite sure why there are 6 attacks when there's only 4 of them. Maybe each of them get 1.5 attacks each, I don't know. All models in this unit can be equipped with spine maws, so they have the chitinous claws and teeth, and you can give them these spine maw pistol weapons. It's odd. The only reason why you do that is you just getting a better strength at strength 3, but there you go. They have a core ability Deep Strike, faction Synapse, and then a unique ability Chitinous Horrors. While an enemy unit is within engagement range of this unit, halve the objective control characteristic of models in that enemy unit. That's pretty good. Keywords: Swarm, Great Devourer, Harvester, Ripper Swarms, and Tyranids. The thing is with Ripper Swarms, I would always like them to have an extra ability. Some kind of regeneration ability. I mean, obviously they have Deep Strike, but I'd like them to have something else that makes them a bit more unique. But I just thought I'd talk about Ripper Swarms. I'll talk about them again in the Termagant review. But what do you guys think of the Hormagaunts models? My ending kind of summary is that I think they're fantastic looking models. It's a good kit. I just wish there were more of them, and I of course wish there were more posability and options for them, because the poses that they've got are very nice. Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Be good to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For the Norm Queen.